Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room, and Finster, who is still sitting there in the back. Oh, there she goes. Okay, she's making her move. There we go. We're still talking about Rachmaninoff, and we will be for a little bit, I think. At least for another, 4 or 5 videos. Who knows how many. Let's take the current clump. Here it is, our clump of Rachmaninoff. The symphonic dances, the Etude Tableau orchestrated by Respighi. What a wonderful work that is, that no one ever plays live, and they should. And the vocalises with AGOA and the Minnesota Orchestra on reference recordings. Wonderfully well recorded and beautiful performances. Colorful and dynamic and exciting, and oh yeah, it's great. I have a couple of those. I saved a couple because I just think they're wonderful. Rachmaninoff, Piano Concerto No. 2, Rhapsody on the Theme of Paganini. Gary Graffman with the New York Phil and Leonard Bernstein. A first-class performance of both works. The sonics are, it's Columbia from the early 60s or whenever it was. But the performances are really good and very exciting. And Graffman was, of course, a wonderful pianist before he lost his right hand. He had focal dystonia, like a lot of other people got, like Leon Fleischer and people like that. Anyway, it was sort of it's an outlier in the Rachmaninoff universe because, the artists aren't Russian and he didn't do a complete cycle and people tend to forget about it. But it was there. It was all there. The talent was there. Oh, here's one of the all-time classics in the history of the universe. The symphonic dances and the bells with the Moscow Phil under Kirill Kondrashin from Melodia, reissued for BMG and in really screechy Technicolor Russian, somewhat quasi-stereo from 1963 and 62. These are the heavy-duty Russian performances that were held up as the model for the way this music should be played for many, 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 many years. It's just really, really good. I mean, there weren't that many Kondrashin recordings either, so that was really exciting. Then we've got Rachmaninoff Symphonies 1 through 3 with Ashkenazi and the Concertgebouw. This is worth having for number 1, which is the great number 1. It really is. There's nothing better at number 1s than this performance. It's gorgeously played and it's intense with a gut-wrenching coda to the finale that's just incredibly impressive. Number 2 was issued first. It wasn't as well recorded. It's a little congested sounding, and it's just average, I think, as a performance. And number 3, too, it's good. It's good. It's okay. But 3 needs some special pleading. And if Ashkenazi had gotten behind number 3 the way he was behind number 1 in terms of conviction and ideas and intensity, it would have been a different story. It's not a bad cycle by any means. It's very good. But number 1 is really, really special. And we've talked about it many times, so we don't have to, belabor the point here. Oh, Rachmaninoff Symphony No. 2 with Kurt Sanderling and the Leningrad Philharmonic. Yeah, it's not Mravinsky, it's Sanderling. He always cut this piece, and he cut it in strange places. And he does here. And it's a mono recording, and it's very heavy and completely irrelevant, and it's strange, for some reason. But that orchestra and that conductor, and it just doesn't go anywhere. Let's see, what's this? Symphony No. 3. And The Rock with the Stockholm Philharmonic and Paavo Berglund, of all people. It's a very neat performance of number 3. Not the best, not the most emotionally galvanizing that I've ever heard, but it's okay. The Isle of the Dead with Reiner, which is a classic, which is marvelous. And then we've got the Preludes, that disc we've talked about in the last video with Alexis Weissenberg on RC, which are wonderful, absolutely first rate. So there you go. It's a decent twofer. This is an RCA French issue on this Artiste Répertoire series. See that? They had their own little thing going there. And then we've got, what's this one? Tchaikovsky. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is an EMI twofer that I had got 20 of because it has one of the great Rachmaninoff 2s. That's Temirkanov with the Royal Philharmonic. He re-recorded it for RCA in the New York Phil, but this is the one to get. Fabulous sonics, too. A classic vintage EMI recording. And you also get, Romeo and Juliet with Previn and the LSO. But on disc 1, you have the March Slav with Previn and the LSO and the world's dullest Manfred Symphony. What a dog that was with Previn and the LSO. I don't know what went wrong. I mean, it even adds Toscanini's tam-tam crashes at the end of the first movement, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just, I don't know what went wrong. But for the Tamerkanov, Rachmaninoff too, yeah, that's why I keep this under Rachmaninoff and not Tchaikovsky. Ugh. Previn should have been ashamed of himself. The bells, spring, the cantata, and the vocalises. So this is fun. This is Svetlanov on what label is it on here? On Regis. And so it's licensed from Melodia, and it's somewhat analog recording, except for some of it is digital. Let me see if it tells us which is. Recorded 1979, 1984. That's spring. I guess that's the digital one, 1973. Good performances, exciting performances, but you can do better. That's the bottom line. Even though they're Russian, we know they're Russian. I don't think you should buy things just because of nationality. I think you should buy things because of musical quality. I mean, that's just me. But, you know, I think you're better off that way. Then we've got Rachmaninoff Cello Sonata with the Frank Violin Sonata in the cello version. Let's see. No, it's not. It's with the violin version. Thank God it's not the cello version. With Renaud Capuçon and Alexandre Goerning. I don't think Renaud Capuçon is anything special as a violinist, but Gaudier Capuçon is a very good cellist, and Lilia Zilberstein plays the piano, and the cello sonata is very good. So that's why I keep this. The Franck doesn't do it for me at all, and I think he just re-recorded it recently, didn't he? And we talked about it. It was lousy. So, you know. Rachmaninoff, Symphony No. 2, Vocalese, Budapest Festival, Ivan Fischer on Channel Classics. Very, very beautiful. Gorgeous playing, perfect pacing, excellent sonics, a great recording, wonderful recording. Yeah, definitely terrific. So that's this pile of Rachmaninoff stuff, and there's more to come. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.